Hey fellow preppers, I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've been doing with fire starters. And I think fire starters are a very important thing. If you don't have power, you've got to have heat, you've got to be able to cook and create clean water. Fire starters are a good thing to have around in your kit. So I'm going to go through a few that I think work pretty good, and I'll show you what I've got here, and then I'll give you a demonstration of how I make them. The simplest one here is taking pine cones and dipping them in paraffin. They fire up real good. Another one I do is I take coffee filters and put in sawdust, and then I dip it in paraffin, and these things fire up really great. The other thing is I find scrap material like towels, socks, and then I cut them up into squares and at different sizes, and then I dip them in paraffin, and these are excellent for fire starting. Excellent. When I go camping, I take these along. They're not what you think. These are rolling papers with sawdust inside, and then I dip them in paraffin, and these work really great for starting campfires, and they're easy to pack if you're backpacking in. The other one that I like is using cotton balls with Vaseline, and that's a real simple thing. You just get some cotton balls, put some Vaseline in there, work it around, and these things fire up excellent. Another good thing to have around, I think, is lint from your dryer. Store it up. This stuff burns incredibly well. So these are a few of the things that I've been using, and I store away, so if I ever need to start a fire, I can do it. And I live up in the high country in Colorado, and I have to have, I heat with wood stoves, so I start a fire every couple of days. And so actually my main one I use is this, and it is excellent to start a fire. But I do have all this packed away in a nice kit that's labeled fire starters. So let me get the equipment, and I'll show you how I make these different things. So the first fire starter I want to show you is the one I like the best. It's taking these little squares that are made from old socks, towels. I cut them up into squares, and then I dip them in the paraffin, which let me show you how I do that, and then you can see exactly how these are made. But these are my favorite so far. So again, how simple this is. Take these little squares like this, and this is liquid paraffin in here, which I've warmed up on the wood stove inside. So I'll take these squares, dip them in here, like so. Not complicated. And then soak them. Then I take them out, just let them drip. I put them on actually this old cookie sheet and let them cool down. And that's what you do. So here's an old sock that will now start a fire for me. And what they end up is like this. And I'll put them with a little newspaper or light them underneath some kindling, and they'll start a fire really quick for us. So that's the first one. Now let me show you a couple more. So here's another simple one. If you live in an area where you've got pine cones, they're all over my yard, you can just take these pine cones, again, the hot paraffin, and dip them in here like so. And I usually try to dip them at least twice, so I'll take them out and let them dry, cool down, and then I'll do it again so they get a good coating on the second or even third. And you can take these little guys, throw them into your fire starter area, and they work great. So there's another one. So here's another one that I like. I call it a fire bomb. And what it's made of is you take these coffee filters like so, and they're real inexpensive. You can buy 100 of them for, I don't know, under $1. And you then take a little bit of sawdust, put that right in the middle of it like so. And then I always save these ties from all kinds of things, from produce or wherever, but take a little tie like this, and you simply take this like so, and I put a tie on it and twist it off, then it's ready, and then I stick it again into my hot paraffin, let it soak in there for a moment, and soak up that paraffin, and get it in there so it gets into the sawdust. Then take it out, and again let it dry, and you got yourself what I call a firebomb, and they work really good. So let me show you another one. So here's another fire starter I like. I take this with me camping. These are nothing more than rolling papers with some sawdust. I roll it up and put it in the paraffin, and I'll show you how I do that. If I can roll these things, which is not my specialty. Here we go. So you just do this. I take some of the thinner stuff, the sawdust, put it in like so. A bit too much. And then roll it. And it doesn't have to be really good. And do that. And just get it so that it's kind of together. And put it in that paraffin and let it soak in there for a few minutes or 30 seconds or so. And then I take it out, and you can set it aside to dry just like everything else. And then you have these little things which you can pack a whole bunch of them into a Ziploc bag when you're out camping, or if you need them just on the road quickly. They're excellent fire starters. So let's see if I can find another way. So these are the last two that I can suggest that work pretty good for me. This is, just take a Ziploc bag and put in cotton balls, and they're pretty inexpensive to get. And then what you do is you take some Vaseline and you put it in here with them, and then you work it around so they all get sort of permeated with this stuff, with the Vaseline. And then after that's happened, these little things fire up really great. And again, you could put them in your backpack or in your fire starter kit, and they're ready to go whenever you need them. The other thing I'd like to save up is lint, because lint is a great fire starter. So you can, every time you clear your dryer out, put them away, and you've got yourself an excellent fire starter. So I've got one more I'm thinking of. Let me show you that one. I think that'll be fun. So the last fire starter, I was thinking you may get a kick out of this. With inflation on the rise and probably going to get a lot worse in the near future, I thought I could show you what to do with all those dollars that are going to be worthless. Hopefully not, but maybe in the next few years. So anyway, these little things, you can always make a fire starter out of them, so you can recycle those dollar bills if you need to. So here's a way I figure you could do it. Just roll these babies up like so, and again, just cut off, tighten up each end, and then put it into your paraffin and let it soak up. And then let's see if we can bring this out of here. There you go. And look at that. You got yourself a nice fire starter out of your old dollar bills. So, hey, you never know. They may be worthless, but here's a way to make them have some value in the near future. So anyway, the next thing I just want to go through is making sure you have a fire starter kit that's ready in your storage area. So one thing I'd suggest is getting one of these 5-gallon buckets and creating a fire starter kit. So you have everything you need to create fire. So obviously you want to get some matches, and you could buy these I think in 4-packs, put them in here, store them away, and then you can buy lighters in packages. I'd buy a number of packages of this, so you have them in your starter kit. So you have more of them in here, and then I like some of these to have some of these big ones around. That's a good thing. When you're trying to get a fire started, these can come in real handy. And then I have the, what do they call this? I'm not even sure what they call it. Anyway, this is a sparker that's very important to have in your fire kit. And then I put in, maybe in a bag, or put these bombs, the fire starter bombs, some of the pine cones that I've treated, put them in here. And then, have some extra paraffin or old candles also in your fire kit. And then some of the made up ones already, the squares that you've made up, put them in here. So they're all in one place that you can find them to get fire started. Some extra coffee filters to make bombs with if you needed them. I put some Vaseline in here, some extra cotton balls, so everything is in this kit and ready to go. Some ties, and again, trying to think of everything you can think of to create fire, and have that in a jug like this, and then put a top on it and seal it away, and it's there when you need it. So hope this has been helpful, and look forward to the next video. Thanks for sticking with me.